Welcome back, and I'm here. It's been a while. I'm here with my cousin Aubrey. What's up?
Hello.
This is so exciting. I'm truly Aubrey. I'm fangirling. I'm really, really excited to have you.
I don't judge you. Fangirl away. All right. No. Kidding, y'all. Kidding.
Well, it's just good to see you, and it's good to catch up. And I just am really, really excited because I feel like I've learned a lot from you for a long time, but I'm excited to get it just in a mass amount today. Why don't you start by just telling everybody about you? What you've done.
Let me start with confessions. You said fangirling. I might have been Facebook stalking you and Christian before this, so I think I probably fangirled first. But yeah, I mean, for your friends who don't know me, and none of them do, I am married to Mallory's cousin, Matt. I live in North Carolina, in the mountains of North Carolina. My passion is health and wellness, and my calling is literally making people feel better. So I'm so blessed. I've had a career in medicine, mostly functional medicine, emergency room provider for 18 years, and then functional medicine for 17 years on top of that. So all that means is I can do all the things medicine-wise in Western medicine that you might know of from hospitals or from doctors' offices. But my true love and passion is getting people healthy from the inside out. So not just throwing a medicine, how do I help you heal from disease and get better at a root level so that you don't need medicine, so disease goes away? So that's my profession, and my calling is literally helping people feel better. So that's a little bit about me, and I think that's kind of what we're gonna vibe with today.
Yeah.
So
I actually really love that you said what you do, but then your calling. Christian has this thing where somebody asked him what's his one thing, if he could describe in one word, his one thing, and his is to create. Mine is to encourage, whatever that is, whether that's over coffee or worship. And then yours is to help people feel better, which is really, really cool. Okay, so talk about your transition from more of Western medicine. What made you switch to wait, there's a way to do this that's different than what everyone else is doing. Talk about that.
So everything starts with a personal journey, a personal reason. When I was in my 20s, basically the first 6 years of my 20s, age 20 to 26, I was incredibly sick, inflamed, migraines, bloating, just crazy blood pressure issues. And there was no reason. The doctors could not figure out what was wrong with me. And I was already a nurse practitioner at this point. I was already in the hospital system for 4 or 5 years. We traveled all over the country trying to figure out, why is this happening? I had every test known to man, and no one could figure it out. And so that led my husband and I to come to a conclusion, really him, because I was not open to this. My husband looked at me one day when we were driving, and he goes, this doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be this sick. And I'm like, agreed. He's like, I think it's time we try the hippies. And I was like, the hippies? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that stuff doesn't work, honey. I have 9 years of college to tell me that doesn't work. But he's like, well, what we're doing isn't working. Wow. And so that led us down a road of alternative medicine. We tried so much stuff. We tried stuff all over the country here. We tried stuff in Central and South America. We were in Africa, and we're like, let's try their stuff. I don't know. And nothing seemed to work until one day, God in his providence led me to one more granola eating hippie. He was a cardiologist by trade, but he did nothing but functional medicine. And that was my first experience with any of this. And the long and the short is, I was so desperate. I felt like junk most of the time. I woke up feeling terrible most days. And so I went to this guy and was like, dude, you're cash pay only, right? He's like, yes. I'm like, figures. I said, well, what's one more? I was like, I will do whatever you tell me for 3 months. You get 3 months of my life. I am all in. All right. He goes, do this, this, and this. I go, I don't even know what that is, but I'm in. And
Oh my
at
gosh.
that point in my life, yeah, it's crazy. But I was like, I'm desperate. Like, it's not normal to feel like junk every day. And yet, tons of people do it. We accept it.
Yep.
But this guy, he told me to do something. I was like, fine. I said, I'm all in. And within 6 weeks, I was off all 4 blood pressure pills because I was maxed out on 4 blood pressure pills. Within 3 months, had never felt better. And within 6 months, I looked at my husband. I was like, dude, I'm never going back. He's like, I know. And that transformed my life. That was 17 years. Like, I'm in my 40s. And I have woken up for almost 20 years and I feel fantastic every single day. And
So
Western
crazy.
medicine never taught me this. So to say it transformed my life is an understatement. But now it's become like, you've heard the saying, a sick person or a healthy person has a million wishes, but a sick person only has one.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel good, if you're not healthy, if you're not strong and vibrant and thriving, you really don't have the life that you could.
Yeah.
So that it changed everything for me. So my business now is literally, I help people feel good.
Now
So
I'm excited to talk about that. What's crazy is I remember you like being sick. Like, I mean, I was a lot younger, but I remember, I literally do. And I remember like how crazy that was. And then I also remember you being the only one at that point in our life, my family's, to start talking about like, there's different ways to do this. Like if you're emotionally unwell, how are you taking care of your body? All these things. And when we were in New York, there's a spiritual stronghold in New York of like hustle and like, you just don't stop. And both of us were feeling really tired all the time. His skin, Christian's, was so bad. He was like, he literally just, there was no life in his eyes at all. And at this point, I was dealing with interstitial cystitis stuff, and it was so bad all the time. And I was working at Starbucks. And so I was drinking Starbucks, and then I stopped for a while because I couldn't have coffee. But I started thinking about it because, number one, I was watching what people were drinking every day because I knew the regulars. I knew what they were putting in their bodies, and I just kept thinking like, this can't be good. I know what I'm giving you now. I know what's in it. But then two, I started listening to these podcasts where they were like, screw all the doctor's appointments you're going to, and you were saying this too. It's like, get your nervous system right.
mm-hmm.
And no one really other than you had told me that before. And I was going and getting like these random CT scans, and I was getting all these crazy things, and nothing was making me feel better. And so what I started doing was, I was listening. I'm a huge podcast person, and I was listening to these Christian podcasts, and they had on Dr. Jordan Rubin, the biblio. Yes, okay, I knew you would know. I love them. And he started talking about like A2 milk, and he started talking about like all of these things. And I went home and I was like, Christian, like, this is crazy. And we never really did anything about it. Then we move here and I start listening to them again, and we completely like transformed our diets, and we both feel like day and night different. So how did you end up transitioning into like a different form of medicine? Like, what was that like leaving?
What were the
Yeah, because then
So,
I remember when you left, you were like, "Yeah, I quit my job."
well, we did that because my husband and I moved to a beach in Nicaragua. So, like, that wasn't, so I have done, I love emergency medicine. I've done medicine. I love emergency medicine. Stuff comes through the door. I'm your girl. All right, let's go do it. So I actually did that for 18 years as part of it, but I've always had two jobs. And the other half of that is I cannot ignore what I know now. Like an emergency is one thing, but chronic ongoing illnesses is a totally different thing because I'm going to give you two principles.
Isn't it
Okay, so
like
I'm
the US has the best acute care, but the worst like chronic illness care? Isn't that
we spend more money than like almost any country, and yet we're one of the most affluent countries in the world, right? But I will tell you this, your medical providers are not trained on getting people healthy, right? We're not trained to. We're trained to diagnose, we're trained to treat, we're trained to image. Like the diagnosis game, people are phenomenal.
but not to
Um,
heal?
not to heal. And I don't think it's their fault. I think there may be some changes down the line, but even most of the doctors I work with here, it took me years to get them to send me people. And I'd be like, fine, send me your sickest person. Send me your sickest person. I'll take care of it and I'll get them off their meds. And the doctors are still even scared, like to wean people off medicines. And I'm like, they don't have the disease anymore. It's gone. Like the dementia, they're better, or the autoimmune disease, it's in remission, it's gone. The PCOS, it's gone. Like they don't need the metformin. I can prove it, you know. So it's this is a different, it's becoming more popular, but it is a different approach to wellness. But let me give you two principles, speaking to what you brought up, like how did I transition, what led to this. Let me give you two principles based on what you talked about. The first is um, people don't realize, and I'm going to name drop two books, and then a couple psychologists, but people don't realize how much the body does for them, and when it becomes out of balance, how that leads to disease. So there's one incredible book out there. This one would be a good read, but it's entitled "When the Body Says No," and oh, I forget the name. Gabor Mate. When the Body Says No is the name of the book, I believe by Gabor Mate. But it goes into the component of stress, how that impacts our body, the crazy percentages we're seeing based on surveys and people with significant illnesses, autoimmune disease, cancers, not to mention heart disease, blood pressure, everything else. That's one. There's another book out there called The Body Keeps the Score.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
You can read it. It is very technical. It made me go to bed like immediately. I would like open the book. I'm like, Jesus, I'm willing. And then I'm like, sleeping. But so like you could get a Cliff's Notes version. But you get the point. Like the body talks to us. Like my specialty, and this is what I tell all my clients in my functional medicine practice. My specialty is interpreting what the body's saying, what that blood pressure means, what the anxiety means, what the IBS means, or the Crohn's or the gut issues, what the eczema means. What is the body saying to us? What do we need to do at a root level to nourish it and fix it so that it goes away? So let one here's something that I probably say to clients maybe 20, 30 times a week. And just to bring home this point of how the body compensates so much and it works so hard for us, but disease will pop up. Your body, everyone's body, God did not make a mistake in the body. It's made to heal itself. It's made to regenerate. It's made to be, strong. Like the years I spent with such fatigue and the pain, the muscle aches and the headaches and the neck pain and bloating and gut issues and hormone stuff. That's not normal. It's incredibly common. It's not normal. And I didn't understand that your body doesn't know the difference between I need to run from a bear and save myself and any other stress on the body. And that could be a sugary drink at Starbucks, run from a bear. Like, seriously, that could be sleep deficiency, run from a bear.
You see how I was so happy to quit.
Well, hey.
We haven't, literally don't go. We never go. We just like literally we're like, absolutely not. I've seen too much.
I went this morning, but...
Hey, we have a whole coffee bar right here.
I have my own. I met someone, but I got an Americano. So like everyone out there, you're fine. But like, we'll get to our last principle to that. All right. I'll just add another principle. No, but I get it. I get it. Like, we're all human, and it's like, you don't want to flood your body with stuff that isn't going to serve it. But because run from a bear, any other stress. It could be like, yay, Christian and I are getting this new adventure and it's so great. Or run from a bear, you didn't eat enough protein. Run from a bear, oh, that person's being an idiot. You know what I'm saying? It's all dumping adrenaline and cortisol. And in the long run, blood pressure goes up, diabetes goes up. The cortisol feeds candida or yeast or abnormal bacteria in your gut, and autoimmune disease happens, eczema happens, migraine happens, brain fog happens. So like, we think it's like nothing. We're like, but I can handle it. It's fine. We just don't take into account any stress is stress on the body. And like, if we actually sat down and took inventory, it's like, holy cow. Like, is there anything that's not stressful? So that's one principle that is you talking about how we had a conversation about mindset, neurological system, health. Like, I do think in my almost 20 years of practice, I probably bring this up more than I bring up anything because it is one of the driving forces of it. It's involved in every health condition. The other thing, nourishing the body in healing. Like, how do we actually do that? Like, you come to me and you have, let's pick on PCOS, because a ton of teenagers have it now, women, teenagers, women, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, whatever. So we're seeing huge rises in infertility, and we're seeing huge rises in tons of other hormone imbalances. And then they feel like they have to have these GLP-1, the Ozempic or whatever. Not knocking any of that. They're great tools. And I do use a lot of these tools for different people. But if we give our body what it needs, it's made to heal. So like, I'll start people on a foundational level of like, flood your body with good stuff. Like, think about what you ate, even in the past, like the last meal that you had. If you ate a burger and fries, think of all of that swimming around and just saturating cells. What's your body going to get from that, right? But if you ate a salad and some chicken and, maybe a rice dish or something like that, all with herbs and other things, all those things are surrounding your cells, and your cells can take what it needs. Like, the skin shows the difference. Your eyes will show the difference. Everything shows the difference. So, like, your skin is new every 28 days. Your blood is new like every 90 days. Your liver's new every 40-ish days. Even your bones, 1/10 of your bones are new every year.
That's crazy.
If you want to be healthy and you want to be strong and you want to feel well, it's compounded over time. All right. So like, and it's not just like in our walk with God, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's the same in our health. It's about building in consistency on the very basics, right? So that was taking what you said, like you talked about this and this, like, how did you weave it together and get, how does that work, right? It's not just Western medicine. It's really going back to the basics of diet, lifestyle, nutrition, and how God actually designed the body to work.
Yeah.
So
that was fascinating to learn about with Jordan and Rubin and Dr. Josh Axe and like them, and talking about the Bible. And they were like, a lot of these current diets tell you to not have this and this. He was like, this is like, the Bible actually tells you that this is great for you. And it's like, so interesting. And the biggest like proof of that for us has been how we both like feel right now. Since when we moved, we were like, all right, we'll just make this like a starting point of like how we'll like do things different. So when you were talking about stress, I think we're like the most stressed generation ever, right? I think, isn't that? Yeah. So what do you do? How do you avoid the stress? Because I could, you were checking off things that are stressful, and I was like, oh, that's current. Yeah, I feel that right now too. How would you how do you, I guess, maybe counteract? Because maybe you can't avoid stress, but how do you counteract it?
I think it starts with mindset most of all. So believe it or not, a lot of what I do ends up being counseling. They come to me for their gimp knee, and even my people who come to me who want like stem cells or something like that. We'll talk about the knee, sure, but then something's going to come up, and we end up talking about mindset. So if you guys ever want, one thing I'll do with you, Christian and Mal, is there's a tool that I developed that I use in all my clients, because most of us are not happy. We think we are. We think we're getting things we want. We're like, yes, okay, I worked out 3 times this week. Oh, wow, I'm achieving this financial goal. Wow, I am involved in this, and this, or I got this job, or this, I'm going to this school. We get these little wins, but then there's a deep pocket in there of discontentment. You only have so long that you allow yourself to be content or at peace or happy. And most of us don't know why. So actually a big part of what I have people do, because your health is a reflection of how you're showing up to life. All right. Like your health is a tool. Being open to God is primary. And then the actions that stem from that are just representative of how we've been nourishing our spirit, our life. I know that might not make sense.
No, it does.
Let me give you an example. Because we're spiritual beings first.
Right.
We are not physical beings. We are spiritual beings first. When we feel connected to God, right? Like when you've slowed down, be still and know, when you've slowed down, when you're calm enough that you sense God's presence, you're not going to hustle like you did, right? Or when hustle comes, when stress comes, you might, instead of react, you might take a moment, acknowledge it, but respond with prayer, respond with a prayerful attitude, sit there and, seek out wisdom. If we don't nourish our soul, our reaction is, oh no, like, I can't believe this is happening. And what are we going to do? And we kind of spiral off the rails, right? Well, if you have nourished your soul, if you are firm and connected with God, and you know exactly like who you are, I am a child of God. I am chosen. He has a plan for me, just like he does all of you every single day. It's not your job. It's not even your relationship. It's opening your heart completely and totally to his. And when we're full of that, that will determine a lot. Okay. So like when I know that I have to show up to the world well, so I can like spread love, and so that like he pours in and through me, I'm not going to show up sullen, fatigued, exhausted, in pain. Like we do have a choice how we influence that. So that could be as much as you need to drink water.
Well, I mean, I remember when I was feeling like super sick all the time, it was super hard to show up in ministry. Christian knows. I mean, there were days I had to leave like before the second service when I was scheduled because I just couldn't I just was feeling terrible all the time. And like, I mean, we're actually, if you can hear, both of us are getting over a sickness right now. Cause we got sick on a trip that we were at. But both of us, like, I mean, ministry is like, it's super all consuming. But yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And going back to, okay, I want to show up to ministry, or like, I want to show up well to the world. Why? What is your core value? So you have different values than mine. Okay. So for instance, I was struggling to find peace and contentment, like those higher frequency emotions. I was struggling to find peace and that love and that connection that I wanted. Like I was like, man, I feel stressed all the time. I'm rushing all the time. Like I'm home with my boys, but I'm like not home with my boys. My mind's somewhere else. Like, why can't I just slow down? Let's go back to that. Like you were saying, like fight, flight, freeze response. Your body doesn't know the difference between run from a bear and any other stress, even perceived fake stress that isn't even real. But we do what we do for a reason. So when I started my coaching business, and it has transformed a couple times, but when I started my health coaching business 5 years ago, I thought that I was always prided myself on my work ethic and my hustle. Okay. Different talk, different day. What the root of that was, but I prided myself on my work ethic. The other thing is I was like, I'm driven. I have goals. I want to see my business here. It's happening. So as life was going along, I just kept thinking, I was like, I have no life. Like, how many times have I said, it's just a season. I just have to get through this season. I just have to get through this semester, this quarter, whatever. So I had to slow down, and I actually used this is how I developed the tool that I want to talk to you guys about sometime. But I sat down and I was like, okay, what matters to you? So I started writing all the things that matter to me: family, God, faith, health, adventure, freedom, growth, love. I wrote down all these things. And then I started saying, okay, what's number one? So my number one core value was growth. My second core value was love. I'm just going to stop there. I did like the top 3, 4, 5, because I was like, why am I even doing what I'm doing? Something's off. Because if all my needs were being met, then I would be able to have those safety feelings, those high frequency emotions of like peace, compassion, creativity, adventure. Like I would have those safety things. If my needs aren't being met, that's where the unsafe, the fight, flight, freeze feelings come in: anger, irritability, frustration, like jealousy, like these lower frequency emotions. Well, you guys all have core values. You all have rules of how you define it. No one's ever asked themselves, what are my rules? So I did that. I said, okay, I was like, your core value is growth and then love. All right. So what are your rules around growth? And so I sat there and I was like, okay, growth to me is, and the number one thing that came out of my mouth was constant. Growth must be constant. My second core value was growth must be measurable. And my number one rule under love was I don't feel that I can give and receive love if I feel rushed. So at that point in my life, not even knowing it, I was being governed by a mindset that was 100% focused on growth. So every day, all day, at the expense of my time for exercise, at the expense of, like sleep, at the expense of all these things. I was like, no, I got to make my business work. I got to make these things happen in my life. My family has to be better. Our home life has to be better. Like
I
growth must be
totally relate
constant.
to that mindset. Totally.
But here's the thing. I really wanted love, and maybe someone wants peace. Maybe someone wants safety. My rules that I didn't even know I had made it impossible for me to have them. Growth cannot be constant. Great value cannot be constant. Growth isn't always measurable. Nothing's going to measure this conversation right here, or the conversations you guys have had with so many wise people before me, right?
Yeah.
Some of our rules suck. And honestly, it's true.
Yeah.
Some of our rules suck. And guess what? We're the ones who write them. So if there is a core value you don't know about, or a rule, and it's like in my clients, it's feeding into everything they do, including why are they not exercising? Why are they eating crap? Why don't they put themselves before other people and try to get well? Like, what is it that's keeping us? And it comes down to some really stupid rules we have for values that matter to us that we don't even know. And so before God, I like looked at these things and I was like, I don't want my kid to grow up and be like, I grew so much because of my mom. Like, no, I want him to look at me and be like, man, my mom loved me big. And all my patients, I have thousands of patients. I don't want them to be like, I grew so much because of her. That's what I want to be known for? No. Man, she loved me big. Like, like she was a little crazy, but she loved me like Jesus, right? Like,
Yeah.
And so honestly, I switched my whole value system. So I bring all that up because you're like, there's a hustle mentality, and we didn't even realize how important it was that we feel good, but we didn't know why we weren't feeling good.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to, if you see that your value system is kind of dictating what you do, let's anchor that in what you're doing for Christ. Like, we all have the same purpose, right? To love the Lord with all of our heart, mind, soul, like to love him, to be overwhelmed with his love and love other people, right? So that's our purpose. We all have different callings. As a wife, as a minister, like as a medical provider, as a mom, like whatever, we all have these different callings, as a friend, whatever. But your wellness, mind, body, and soul, is how you show up to your calling, and your calling is how you live out your purpose.
Wow. Yeah, totally.
Like, get freaking well. like show up well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I start with mindset. That's why I'm always like, let's start talking about the stress, because our stress is usually our number one and most aggravating problem. And it's usually a great gateway into why you're doing it. What are you not surrendering? What's God calling you to do? What can we improve upon? So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, medical system didn't teach me that.
That's crazy. That's so crazy. Yeah. I when I was listening to the Jordan Rubin one, he was talking about like mindset, and he was talking about like, if you actually just have this give up mindset, your body's gonna be like, okay. And like, and also kind of be shutting down. And I remember hearing that and I was like, what? I've actually like learned the most about like emotions and your mind and your perspective and spirituality in relation to your body through medical providers. I was listening to this podcast with a psychiatrist, Dr. Amen. Am I saying his name right?
Amen.
Yes. And I was so like fascinated by when he was talking about like neuroplasticity, and when he was talking about like how actually terrible for your body like phones are, and like dopamine and how much we're taking in and stuff. And I feel like that's been one of the things I've been thinking about the most is like how much this people are like, oh, my mental health is this and that. And how much, people say it's those phones, but like how much it actually really is.
So I got into meditation, which I always thought was like, I mean, you already know I started out and I'm like, those hippies, God bless them. I love my hippie world. These are my people. But the thought, I got into meditation, and the coolest thing about meditation, I always thought it's like we think of nothing, like most people can't sit in solitude or quiet. Like they go stir crazy. We have our phones. It's like you're saying, that dopamine hit and that constant. To me, the opposite action, the most tangible opposite action to kind of help strengthen the muscle that gets weak due to our hyper busy society and schedules is meditation. Even if you're just sitting for 3 minutes initially, I've always thought it was like to clear your mind. You think of nothing. False. It's actually, you learn to sit and you realize when stuff pops up, it's just a thing. Like your soul, the consciousness is just observing these things. And like it really has been like a game changer for me neurologically. As a Christian, like I just imagine my soul like connected with God, or like Jesus sitting next to me on a bench.
Right.
Like, and it's like you feel all the tension dissipate, because like that is our home. And we just get so busy, we don't take time to be still and connect with like that deeper level. I'm not going to go more into that, but your brain, like you can train it, you can retrain it. Your brain is not smart. People think like, oh, like if these thoughts are popping into my head, like this is great. No, your brain is very primal sometimes. Like, and you can't always, you can't believe it. So like, I always have people imagine like, okay, you close your eyes. Imagine that you're climbing up a ladder on the side of your house or your building because you have to get leaves off the roof, like, so that the gutters can drain well. You climb up. All right. And so like close your eyes, actually imagine those things. Then a wind comes and the ladder starts to shake. Like if you close your eyes and you actually imagine it, you feel tightness in your body. None of it's real. None of it's real. Like your brain is going to always look to protect you, even if something's not even real, just because you have created these pathways for so long that you just don't know how to calm down and rewire it. So I'm a huge fan of meditation. I usually start with the Jesus on the bench next to me. In all my clients, that's what I start with. And I'm not even lying. I don't think when I actually sit down and like take 2 minutes to have people sit and imagine Jesus sitting next to them and just the peace that comes over them. In the past 15 years, I don't think I've ever had someone not cry.
That's crazy.
Because it's like, we've never slowed down enough to sense and feel his presence all around us and in us, But we can learn. Thank you, Daniel Amen, for supporting that.
No, seriously. Yeah, because he's totally talked about that. And I mean, I remember it was just a few, maybe a month or so after just like actually just losing his dad. I mean, I was there with him and I'm experiencing all this like secondhand. So it's not even like that firsthand. And I remember my friends and I, we turned off all the lights and we just kind of lit some candles. That sounds weird. It was actually just really vibey. We were just listening to like worship music, and we weren't sleeping. We weren't talking. We were all just kind of like laying there. And that was like the first time my body, I think, actually like decompressed and processed those things that I was like surrounded by and interacting with those really, really hard, sad things. And it was so crazy. I was like, wow, like your body really does hold on to this stuff. And like, we just live with it. We just exist like with it, like on our shoulders. And we just exist with it being like carrying all that stress all the time. It's so crazy.
There's a counselor. Don't tell any of my patients when they come in and they're like, "Oh, I have this earache and these whatever it is." There is a counselor. Her name is Louise Hay. She's the late Louise Hay. She connected patterns of thinking with illness and disease.
That's
Like
crazy.
It gets trapped in your body, like different energy, different tensions. Like it's kind of the premise of Chinese medicine. God created that too. I did. There is, I know we all lie in the same place spiritually, but I do think there is something to multiple ways of healing and energy throughout the body. Like we know we can do Kirlian images of food or other things. Everything emits an energy. It's either going to build your body up or tear it down. Okay. So the food you eat, it may serve your body, it may not. Medicines serve your body, may not. Supplements, etc. Everything has an energy carrying things together. We can scientifically measure these things. So this is not like hippie hokum. Okay. It's not. And same with acupuncture. You can put energy in and take energy out of certain systems. We can literally measure the difference. Like it's scientific. Like you can scientifically see the change in energies, or electrical charges rather. So to say that energy or an electrical charge or disease can cause inflammation of certain areas is not an outlandish, like hippie hokum thought. It's an actual thing. Louise Hay would connect a lot of illnesses with mental patterns. She was a counselor, but I mean, her research has been thoroughly studied. Well, I use it a lot. Like I had low back pain. Low back pain and tightness there can often be associated with people who are struggling with financial issues, financial concerns. I wake up and I feel great all the time. But I had this back pain in December. And around that time, I already know I called someone out. Around that time, I was doing everything right. I was getting massages. I did so many things, the chiropractors, everything. I'm like, what is going on? I was in the middle of trying to decide, it's year end, business wise, what am I doing tax wise? And I was like, at the time, I was like, I think I'm going to be buying this building. But it's always nervous when you're a business owner and an entrepreneur. Like, God, is this the wisest decision? Like,
right.
What about the economy? Like, what's that going to mean payment wise? Like, I don't really like debt. I don't really do debt. So I was like, oh no, debt. The second I just decided to let go and say, okay, God, like, because it had been weeks, I could hardly walk. And I said, okay, God, I'm not 100% that you're leading me on this venture. Then I'm just going to hold out till you give me an absolute, this is it. And I said, so I'm not buying the building. You're going to have to hit me over the head with a 2x4 if that's what you want, because I'm not picking up on that. And so I was like, I'm out. I'm going to just keep things simple. The next day, back pain was completely gone. And it happens. My people come in and they'll be like, my ears or something. And I'll be like, cool. How long's that been? 3 weeks? Okay. I'll look. I'll be like, yeah, maybe allergy. Well, what's happened? What's going on in your life the last month and a half? Oh my gosh, my boyfriend and I have been at it, like just fighting, and it's just not going good. And I'm like, right, there's things you don't want to hear. Like, I'm not saying that happens all the time.
Well, I mean,
I'm just,
yeah,
it's an idea.
We moved.
It's an idea.
We moved here, and our life slowed down by smiles. It's so much slower now than it was, and I have zero symptoms. Zero from dealing with it so much. for like a whole year. When we went back to where we used to live when we visited people, we were like, how are you doing? And I was like, with what? Oh yeah. Like I forgot what they were talking about for a second because literally our life is like, and every time something stressful happens, I'll feel like some kind of symptoms happen. But like, yeah, it's crazy. It's so wild.
People need to hear your body is not broken. And I think I said this to you multiple times because I say it
You did,
50
yeah.
times a week. Your body is not broken. It's just talking to you.
Yep.
And if someone has issues pop up, blood pressure stuff, skin stuff, autoimmune stuff, anything else, your body isn't broken. It's literally just talking to you. And it's
which is like the brilliant design of our bodies that like with what's going on in our life, it can be like, stop, slow down. There's something wrong.
I call it check engine lights.
Yeah.
Check engine lights. Your body's not broken. We need to address something. And then people have check engine lights that are specific to them, but just your body's not broken. This is just a great opportunity to figure out how you can show up better, what you can surrender, how you can grow. Because you don't get healthy, you just get healthier.
Right.
There's always another level God calls us to.
Right.
So I'm so happy you're so much better and healthier. And
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So talk about cooking overcome now. Talk a little bit about like more of the details about what you do, because you're saying a lot of it is literally counseling people and telling them to like.
Well, they don't know it.
right.
They call it coaching because I'm not a counselor.
That's
I'm too blunt to be a counselor.
That's so funny. Well, and then also talk about some of the like the lifestyle changes, like some of the major lifestyle changes you'll suggest people make, whether that's diet or like exercise, because we talked a lot about that, like the spiritual mental health side. What other practical things are you often telling people?
So my venture right now. So right now I run I have 2 practices that are in person. But they are great. They're wonderful. I love what I get to do. I literally love what I get to do. God has stirred up something in my heart, which is online. So that is something. So right now I have a couple of things in the fire. I have my Balmer Wellness practice, which I said is regenerative and functional medicine. Part of that is I've been contracted to run a clinic for a very big business. So I have 3,000 employees. I run a clinic for all of them. It's crazy. And they're amazing and I love it. And they must be drawn to sarcasm and I don't know, verbal abuse or something, because they keep coming back and they dish it right back. We have so much fun. So because I'm just like you and we're all the same. It just might look different on us, right? So it's like, I love getting to do life together with people. The thing is, I have gotten so busy that I actually took my health coaching business that I've had for the past 5 years, and it's being transformed into Cooking to Overcome. And that the website has almost been revamped. Like everything is almost done. I still have some social media. I have my social media presence, but we're revamping everything because so much of what I say is the same again and again. It doesn't matter if people want to heal autoimmune disease, lose weight, have energy, like whatever it is. So all my programs are being revamped, and we'll be launching that shortly, probably in the next couple weeks, getting all the programs back online. There's a 2-week detox cleanse. It's a food-based thing. It's easy to do. It's not miserable. It's amazing. I have a 4-week shred so that people can get like muscles and feel good and burn fat, gain muscle, because no one wants to lose weight. You want to burn fat and build muscle and fix your metabolism. So I teach people to do that. And then my goal is that later this year, there's actually a 12-week faith-based health coaching program, which is going to walk people through XYZ. This is what you need to do so you get healthy and you never need me again. But I don't know how to do that without Jesus. So for me, it's going to be the supporting people through all the steps. But then when they hit resistance, because anytime you grow, you're going to hit your upper limit.
Right.
I know this. People pay me a lot of money to coach them through that. I say the same things again and again. So let's do it together, right? Let's do it in a 12-week program where we tackle all those upper limits too. So cooking to overcome is honestly, it's my passion. It's my dream. It's going to be like a culmination of tons of work coming out for people. So I'm excited about that. And to answer the question, what do I tell people all the time? For those people who are like me, who might be listening and are exhausted and have brain fog or may hurt all the time or have health conditions and they don't understand why. Most of my people come into my office and I'll say, hey, rate your energy 1 through 10. Like 10 is outstanding, whatever. Most people come into my office and they're about a 4 to a 5. I tell them to do 3 things and they come back within 2 weeks and their energy's an 8. Okay. So this might hit a lot of people. I think across the board, it'll probably hit a lot of people. You have a younger audience, so maybe not. But the first thing is I make sure, I know this sounds stupid, I make sure they drink their water.
Yeah. Like you told me that so many times. And I always take note of it.
Yeah. Drink your freaking water. And I don't care if it's like flavored. I don't care if it's in an herbal tea. I don't care live your own adventure. I am not a proponent of Gatorade, but like water down Gatorade if that's what you need to do, but get a minimum 2 liters in. But drinking water, like I said, run from a bear, dehydration. Run from a bear, your muscles everything is stressed. Drink your fluids. So I fix water first in most Americans because most people don't drink enough water. The second thing I have people do is I have them eat enough protein. I have some guys come into my office. Their protein intake is adorable. Okay. Just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'm like, you are like an old granny. You need to man up and eat a freaking steak. So I eat, like I said, I am into my 40s and I eat 150 grams of protein every day. Most women eat 60 grams or less a day. And most men, I'll like add it up because like guys like love skipping breakfast and stuff. And
yeah, I actually do that. I do that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
I know. It's okay, honey. I get paid a lot of money to tell people this. But I don't mind. I don't mind intermittent fasting. I don't mind skipping. But in your eating window or when you eat, you need to get your protein.
So how do you get your protein? Like what do you because I've been saying that to him recently, like we've been talking about it. And for various reasons, we'll get to that in a second. But like give us what you would eat in a day, give or take, like how you reach that. Because to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that, but that almost feels impossible. How would you do it?
But you don't need the protein I eat. Right? Like with my activity level, with everything else, like I know how hungry I get. So like, this is just where I live.
Right.
For my women or smaller dudes, a daily minimum of 100 grams a day is my starting point. Like grandma down the street, she's at 90 to 100. Okay. Like that's where I'm at. If she's 80 pounds, I'm fine with 60. Like she can get 60 grams. And I'll give you guys a quick way to know how much you're eating. For men, like Christian, like I would say that your minimum would be 120 grams a day. My husband eats 220 grams a day.
Wow.
But Mallory can attest, the Balmer boys are big.
Yeah.
They're six, they're all like 6'5". Like I swear, like I'm like, he's part Nephilim. Like he's something. I mean, they're just trying, we have a special order
Yeah.
shoes. We have to special order everything. I'm like, they're ginormous.
Yeah, they are big, the Balmer dudes.
They're
Yeah.
all big. He would love it if I said he was part Nephilim. But anyway, so like for guys, you need a minimum of 120. I don't care what guy, you have more muscle mass. And then upwards from there, depending on someone's
Isn't it
goal.
like actually, I don't know. I don't even know what I was going to ask, but like how you figure that out based off of your like activity level, your weight, your what guy or girl. I know it's all the things, right?
Yeah. There is a specific number. So most of the time when I coach people, like I'm like across the board here, I'll save you guys a lot of money. Across the board, I push a paleo diet 80% of the time. You guys have Google, you have ChatGPT, you're very high functioning. Google that if you don't know. But a paleo diet 80% of the time. And then the only macro I track for most people across the board is protein. So like if you're eating paleo-ish, which is nutrient dense, tons of good foods, and you're focusing on protein first with a bunch of veggies on the side of it, like, or whatever, lower carb stuff, like if you don't have insulin resistance, PCOS, prediabetes, diabetes, then I'm not as worried about adding some carbs in, but across the board, good, healthy, whole foods, 80% of the times, you focus on protein first. If you're doing that, everything kind of falls into place. I can get rid of 90% of problems if I just have people do that. Right? So
that goes back to like not feeding the current problems, and then like AKA like not giving your current problem stuff that's going to make it worse, but then adding in what's going to help heal it essentially.
Yeah. And it's hard because everyone's different. And we'll talk about food allergies some other time. We'll talk about different diet sensitivities.
Yeah, you'll have to come back.
All of those things. I was like, it's too much. But like I can talk to you guys about anything. I've been doing this for a long time. At one point, I was vegan, my husband was carnivore, and our kid was just confused. Okay, like we can. Like it was so. We're like, what is even happening? But there's reasons. A diet is a tool. Right? It's a tool that we use, but a healthy lifestyle is the goal. So I always just across the board will start with paleo for the most part. Protein. So for you, Mallory, like in general, what I have my women do is, let's say breakfast, we have to figure out how to get protein. Lunch and dinner, I want you to eat your palm plus your first knuckle worth of dead animal. Okay? Like, and I mean, or tofu, organic, whatever, but like protein. But like for the most part, most of us will just keep it easy and say dead animal. So I don't care if that's chicken, pork, beef, venison, whatever that is, fish. So if you ate that for lunch and for dinner, you're going to probably, if we get 30 grams of protein for breakfast, or in the morning hours, you're going to be doing what you need as a pretty much minimum. Okay, so that could be 2 eggs with some ground meat in there. That could be 2 eggs, maybe some avocado, olive oil on it, and then you do a protein shake or a drinkable yogurt. And then, protein for lunch, protein for dinner with stuff on the side. Christian's case, let's go into like fasting. So if Christian's paw is a little bigger than your
He's
paw.
so not fasting, he just forgets.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, my system won't work for I have my system because it works for me. Build your own system. Just use the right principles, right? So if, let's say he's so busy, he doesn't have time, doesn't eat, whatever, he's not hungry. So when like, walk me through your day, Christian. What does food look like for you?
Okay. I always have a coffee in the morning. Always. It needs to happen.
Fine.
Well, so what do you do in the morning before then?
In the best case scenario today, I will go to the gym early in the morning.
Around like 4:45, 5.
I'll meet my friend James. We work out together, which is good.
He was on the podcast.
He was.
Plug. James.
He's awesome.
Yeah, sports psychologist.
And we'll go to the gym, work out for like an hour, come back, I'll have the coffee, and
maybe breakfast.
Maybe
we'll make Like
eggs is always in there
eggs,
somehow.
yeah, always eggs.
Eggs always ends.
I like to
ends
do
up
like
in there.
eggs and cottage cheese and turkey bacon and avocado. In an ideal world where we make enough time for it, right?
Right. But if not, then sometimes we'll literally just have a toast with like cream cheese
Or nothing, or nothing.
or nothing. And then if I eat nothing, then I get a little hungry, and I'll have like an equivalent of a Chomps beef stick,
Okay.
which we actually have
Big
tons
one.
of.
That's 10 grams. Keep going.
Okay, and then I'll probably last if I have like a lot of water, and then we'll have dinner. And Mallory makes a really nutritious dinner.
Okay, let me clarify. So, a lot of what recently our thought process has been, because again, we're like so in the beginning. I would say we've probably been 8 months into learning about like the Biblio diet, learning about like A2 milk. Like, we only consume like A2 milk and actually ice cream. There's a brand called Alex.
It's so
Have you
good.
heard of it?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, it's so good. Anyways, she's like ice
So
cream.
good.
But
I'm human.
what was that?
Yeah. I'm human. Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
biggest
Guys,
thing.
It's not about perfection.
Yeah.
It's the consistency. It's
Right.
okay. Yeah.
Well, our biggest thing right now is Whole Foods. Like, that's the biggest thing we try to prioritize. Would you say, Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we always try to have Whole Foods. Like, the dinners I plan are very much around like having Whole Foods and stuff. Especially because for a lot of young people who are listening, a lot of their thought too is like fertility down the line and stuff, and how much like what you eat affects that, and like all the things, like even like the cleaning products and the clothing we're wearing, we're always thinking that way now. But anyways, that when he said, like for dinner, that's often what we'll do. Like sweet potato, ground beef, avocado, cottage
we're
cheese.
eating a lot of sweet potato, a lot of avocado, and chicken,
and beef and stuff.
beef.
So
Yeah.
and then sometimes, recently I've been really, we live in Minnesota, and so we live in the most cold, brutal place. But I've been trying to go on walks right after dinner. Like, we're trying to build that habit.
There's science behind that. Yep, that's good. So let's go back to Christian, because let's finish this point.
Okay.
Christian, your protein intake is adorable, babe. It's adorable. Okay, you're gonna have the muscles of like,
and he works out
20-year-old woman.
so hard, and then he'll go and like eat nothing, and I'm like,
so let's talk muscle health for a second. Let's talk muscle health.
I love how no one's gonna be able to see
Because
Christian.
your muscles. Oh, we'll flip over. Honestly, you might divide this into 2 different podcasts.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
So let's talk muscle health. Your muscles are what determine your metabolic health, right? And having healthy mitochondria. Your muscles, we know, are the measurement or the metric for longevity and like how you do later on in life. Your muscles are what keep us strong, fight disease, or help, it's a big determinant of our overall health. Protein, you have to eat enough, but you want to front load your day. So whenever you break your fast, like at night when we're fasting, our muscles will take all the different building blocks from the protein we ate, all the amino acids, and go and repair the different parts of our cells and our bodies and everything else. So when you break your fast in the morning, you want to make sure you do it with protein. I don't care if it's a protein shake. I don't care if it's a yogurt. I am always late. So I do a drinkable yogurt. I usually, and I'll do a plug for women in protein here in a second, because women need to hear what I have to say. But you want to break it with protein, and then protein, and then protein. And then you have dinner later on, okay? So and guys, you can just do a little bit more. So like if you did your palm plus your first knuckle, I don't know how big your hand is, but that's just what I tell people to do. If you did 3 pieces of meat or dead animal a day, that equals that, you're probably going to be getting a good amount of protein. So if you divide that into 2 meals and you do, let's say you break your fast at like 11ish, and you have a scoop of a big thing of a cup and a half of chicken salad and some greens and whatever. I'm just making something up. Like you eat that. A little bit later, you could do a chomp stick, which is 10 grams of protein. You could do a cheese stick, which is 10 grams of protein, or you could do, yogurt and some berries. You could do a protein shake, so like you break your fast at like 11, an hour and a half later, you drink a protein shake, which is another 30 grams. So we got maybe 45 plus 30. And then dinner, you eat the same amount of meat, like a palm, like a palm and a half. Well, so like a full palm, you eat a steak and some sweet potato, something else, you get 50 grams. So already at that point, we're at like that 120-ish grams of protein, and you're going to get what you need. So like the most important thing is you get protein. I usually encourage people to do some sort of protein snack. And then, if they're only going to do 2 meals. The way that I do my day, and women should listen to this, if you drink coffee on an empty stomach or without food, you're going to heighten your cortisol response. Okay. So if you're tired of this cortisol belly that we're hearing about, if you have an eye twitch, if you find that your stress fortitude and your anxiety throughout the day is not as good.
I'm laughing because I've been having an eye twitch the last few weeks.
Yes. Don't put caffeine on top of your natural cortisol spike in the morning. That natural cortisol spike happens when you wake up. So you want to eat a couple bites. I don't care if that's a couple bites of yogurt. I always eat 2 boiled eggs. And then I drink a yogurt on my way to work because I'm late. So I get my 32 grams of protein in the morning. Then I'll do some sort of protein shake in the morning. Like I just mix it with water. I have one, so I'll get 30 grams there. Then I eat my lunch, which is usually 40 grams. And then I don't eat again until dinner. So in the morning, I'm already getting like anywhere from 110 to 120 grams of protein. And I'm done by like 1 o'clock with all that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I have been like I keep forgetting, but I was originally trying to do like the water and like the lemon and ginger water for like gut in the morning, but I know I probably need to be like also eating too. This is also helpful because I feel like so many people just on a day-to-day don't think this way. We think productivity and convenience rather than like actually setting yourself up. And for me, one of the biggest adjustments I've had to do is I was actually standing 9 hours a day as a barista, running around, and I felt great in one little way, and then every other way I felt terrible. But now I'm sitting actually most of the time, other than when I'm actually on stage, like leading worship. And so I feel that too, which is a whole thing as well. And honestly, that's most people now, is like we are inside we're outside 10% of the day. And we're like sitting, 70-80% of the day?
But there's systems for this. There's systems. And it's not hard. It's just developing a new system. And like automating things, I'm all for convenience and efficiency. Like I run 2 medical practices. I have a family. I want to have a life. Like I exercise, I do stuff. I don't have time to be Betty Sue homemaker every day, right? It's knowing, okay, what can I streamline? What can I simplify? What can I do? And it's just learning a new system. And once people learn that, it's just easy. When I go on vacation, I have some of my systems still. I have so much stuff. I never come back feeling like junk. I never gain weight on vacation. And it's not like I eat the same. I've learned how to pull so many things into the system that work, and it's automated. Like I feel great, right? But everyone can. It's just learning how to shift what's not working in their system to what does work, right?
Yeah, we just got back from our trip. One, we got sick, and two, it feels like the way we were eating. Like I even feel like I started breaking out again because...
Well, and also just the lack of sleep too.
Yeah.
We were sleeping. We were going to bed probably 3 hours past when we normally do. And it's like, it's crazy.
It is.
But this is all, this is so good. I feel like
I think we went longer.
I feel like we should do a part 2 because I feel like we have a million other things we could address. But you're amazing, and thank you for sharing
You guys are too.
all the wisdom. And if there's any last thing you want to say, go for it. And then also just plug your business too.
Healthy meals, if you're wondering, cookingtoovercome.com. We post meals every week for the most part. But yeah, no, I am cheering you guys. I'm like your biggest fans. I'm cheering you guys on. I love all these health changes because like it can literally change everything.
Yeah.
So thanks for letting me have some of the gift of your time and letting me share what I love with all the people who are tuned into you guys. Oh, so thank you.
Yeah, this has been awesome. Aubrey, you're the best. We love you. Thank you for your infinite wisdom. And all right. Thank you.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.